Travis and Tom back with you here on Lacrosse Now. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights, with their second straight Big Ten tournament appearance in 2019, now looking to take that next step in the Big Ten.
Last year they finished at 7-8, their first time under 500 actually since 2015. That was their first year in the Big Ten Conference. Their 14-6 win though on March 31st over Ohio State snapped the Buckeyes' 7-0 perfect record to start the season.
That was a big win for them. Yeah, one of the reasons they got into the Big Ten tournament at the end of the year. Brian Bracts entering his 10th season as the head coach in Piscataway. 58-61 record thus far. They've had an above 500 record for 4 of the last 5 seasons, and he caught up with Tom at the IMLCA convention last month.
That's a good question. I think we had a little bit of a change and kind of a reset button. We had a very talented 2018 class that graduated that really, for 4 years, being impact players on game day, had graduated, and changing the coaching staff, a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, some new players in the program that are taking on different responsibilities and roles on game day. It was a competitive year. Made the Big Ten tournament, for the 3rd time in 4 years. So there's a lot of positives that we can take from last year's season, but having a lot of guys coming back, I thought one of the things that the staff commented on this fall was the retention of the returning guys this year was a lot greater. So going through the fall, having 2 full dates of playing against a different colored jersey and having that retention, and a year older, year better, hopefully. I think the fall was good for us, and but it's the spring that counts, as we know.
Yeah, you get Adam Charlambides back, right?
Yeah, that's been great for us. He's certainly been one of our better players when he's been healthy the last couple of years on the field. He's a lot older, wiser. He is certainly an inspirational leader in the locker room and on the field. So he's the healthiest and feels the best he's ever felt. And then you combine that with an All-American and Kieran Mullins, and some guys like Ryan Gallagher and David Sprock and Tommy Coyne, and some of the other guys that we've had be a big part of our success the last couple of years. And recently, Garrett Bullitt on the defensive end is someone who's playing some big games for us. So we have some holes to fill, like every other team is going to have, and but certainly feel the competition this fall has been what we wanted, and the retention has been better than what it has been in the past.
Yeah, you mentioned Charlambides in terms of maturity, and sort of how he's grown over the years. I mean, I don't know if have you ever seen a kid sort of go through that kind of thing where he's missing a few seasons, and maybe how much has from year 1 till now has he changed?
There's always been injuries in my coaching career that it's part of the game sometimes, and you don't want to deal with it, but it happens. But no, never the impact of 2 major injuries to an impact player that AC is. So, but like I said, you never want anyone to get hurt. But if anyone could handle the ups and downs and the roller coasters of the injuries and the rehab and then the setbacks again, he certainly is the person who could. He's been a great player, great student for us, and obviously a great teammate in the locker room. And like I said, I think we're excited to see him 100% healthy with the experience he's had already, and the guys around him. He certainly makes them better.
And he's really good too.
He's a dynamic player. He has a skill set that not many have, and I think our guys feed off him, and I think he's learning very well to trust the guys around him, and that's going to make him even better.
It feels like the resilience he's shown, that can carry over to a whole group. You had some close games last year, felt like you were in, and maybe this time around, like that can happen now because of a guy like that, starting it there and then spreading it to everybody.
Yeah, I think every team's going to have some good players. He's certainly a special player, but also is wired the right way, and makes the people around him better. So we're happy to have him in our locker room and obviously on the field, healthy and 100% on game day.
Good stuff, guys. Thanks. Senior captain Kieran Mullins helping the cause, leading the team with a career-high 37 assists last year. Second in points with 60, also a career high, the points. His was 6th in the nation in assists per game.
Let's talk more about this offense because it brings back Adam Charlambides. If it seems like he's been in college forever, it's because he has been. This is his 6th season on campus. He's only technically a junior.
He's got 2 more years.
Charlambides has fought through 3 different medical redshirt seasons, so, including tearing his ACL in back-to-back years. But now, looking to put a 2nd straight healthy season together. For more, here's Davey Emila at the touchscreen.
Adam Charlambides has been a force for Rutgers as soon as he stepped foot on campus. The lefty Canadian attackman is elite when it comes to operating at the low lefty wing. Let's take a couple look at some examples of what we're talking about. So first we got to know about Charlambides is he's a big boy, right? He is not small, and he's a force to deal with for any defenseman coming. And that he uses to his advantage, especially as he gets to that high crease lefty island area. As we pull forward a little bit, really, as we talked about, big, so he's able to get inside and on his defenders. As we mentioned, he's a force for any defender to have to deal with. What that allows him to do is get inside using his body and then continue on that movement as he gives himself an angle to eventually get this shot off, all right, getting topside in that finish. All right, as you can see, his box background, all right, good history of finishing, especially in tight spaces. We'll see this one more time. The inside roll takes a little hit there at the end, shows you his strength as well. Again, he's a force, big guy, tough to deal with. Let's show one more clip exactly, too, again, of what we're talking about. He's also determined. Charlambides, there we see that little get into your defender in your body and then is able to reach around. All right, so first and foremost, we have a nice pause here, all right, of this action. All right, we talk about it. He's a force for defenders to deal with. He's getting inside his defenseman, pushing him back to get above GLE. All right, what I like about it is that he continues to push this way, all right, and ultimately shows you on this goal that he uses that good old phrase that the head of the stick has eyes, good handle there, and then ultimately we see, all right, some really nice extension. If we can notice that here right on the screen, does a great job of extending his hands outwards. All right, what that's going to allow him to do is ultimately wrap this shot around the goalie as we see this get past the keeper. Really nice job there. All right, elite offensive skill, and as we said, elite when it comes to operating on that low lefty wing. Going to look to have a big year here for Rutgers.
Davey, terrific.
Good
as
stuff.
Always. Starts the season for the Scarlet Knights here on Saturday.
Ooh.
They open up the year against Quinnipiac. They then take on St. John's. Things then really pick up back-to-back games against ranked opponents as Rutgers goes to Army and Loyola. Scarlet Knights also get Princeton and Syracuse in the non-conference, some games to watch. And then you see down the stretch of their Big Ten slate there that wraps up with the team that's ranked #1 in the IL Media Poll, Penn State.
I wonder if they'll be ranked #1 then.